Hi CPB Network. As promised, today I'm bringing you a video about the current state of FIBA and federations and leagues around the world because of our current, I don't want to say it because I'll get my video demonetized, but you know what I'm talking about. As of March 12th, where I'm at in the Czech Republic, the Czech Basketball Federation shut down all competitions from any league, any division, any age group. Okay, and it was very similar for other FIBA leagues and federations around the world. I think the official date for FIBA shutdown was that Friday, March 13th, meaning that FIBA Cup, EuroLeague, all of those FIBA actually sponsored events, leagues with international competition, those are normally some of the highest professional levels, they were shut down. Okay, and I believe it was on the federations in different countries to kind of govern how they were going to go. And I think everybody pretty much responded the same and had a very similar shutdown at that time. Now, not to say that there were not other countries around the world still playing. I believe Taiwan finished their season. Some Asian countries were still playing. So I think it was on a case-by-case basis, although the majority of leagues shut down. Okay, and where does that lead us today? So leagues have not picked up, obviously. Some leagues are doing small competitions, like here in the Czech, the NBL has decided to do one-on-one competitions, shooting competitions, things like that, just to stay relevant, keep producing content, keep their players in shape, and you know, just to keep things moving in a somewhat normal fashion. Okay, so what I see happening is, I believe now FIBA's going to recounsel with the board in May. Okay, it's almost the end of May. They're going to come out with that decision, I think. And it's also leading into the summer, kind of how the summer goes. If there's a resurgence of cases in different parts around the world, that can change everything. Okay, so this information is only as good as what's currently happening. Today it is May 26th, so you know, as of right now, at least here things seem to be going pretty well. I know in other parts around the world they're seeing resurgences or maybe it's dying down a little bit. But I see the league starting back up normal time in the fall. Okay, a lot of summer, you know, if you see summer 3-on-3 stuff, summer competitions all have been canceled through FIBA. If you have anybody reaching out to you, asking you to do stuff like that, it's probably a scam. So look heavily into that, especially now. There's going to be a lot of scams. You know, people are getting desperate. So, you know, in need of finances, and you have people with less than reputable character, and they may try to take advantage of you. Okay? Now, we talked a little bit about how to avoid scams, and that was in a previous video, you know, where we talked about FIBA's website, using that to, if an agent reaches out to you, go on FIBA and see if they're a licensed FIBA agent. Okay? And if they're not, you probably don't want to work with them. Okay, even if they're reputable, a lot of teams won't work with them. Okay, you want FIBA licensed people. They know the rules. They have normally the connections, and it's just gonna be easier for you. There's arbitration. There's a little insurance involved when you have somebody who's licensed. It's just like buying a home. Would you go with your buddy, or would you go with somebody who has a real estate agent license? So, you know, back to the kind of league schedule and where we're going to pick up. Like I said, I see that happening in the fall. In normal times, like maybe August at the earliest. You have other leagues starting September, October. But the big thing is, how is this going to affect teams? How is this going to affect leagues? Okay. Now, some countries have talked about not bringing in foreign players. Okay. So that's a huge thing that's going to limit jobs, and it's also, if you look at a double-sided coin, it's going to give young players more opportunities, which may bring the level of the competition down. Okay, but you know, anytime there is an effect, there's an opposite effect, right? So there's two sides to that coin. Okay, but you know, another big thing is sponsorship. All right, if you have a business, You want your business out in front of people. And if, you know, they're talking about playing games without fans, well, your logo is not going to be seen by many people. Okay, so you're probably going to pull sponsorship, maybe pay less. Okay, therefore team budgets are going to go down. Okay, I don't have to explain, you know, marketing and advertising to you, but you're definitely going to see teams working with lower budgets. Okay, and you're definitely going to see some changes. Now, what those changes are, you know, we will see. But the big thing is going to be lower budget, and we'll see when it comes to affecting imports and then also sponsorship. Okay, and these are big things because, you know, these teams rely heavily on sponsorship dollars. Okay, not a lot of teams bring in so many fans where they can just totally rely on that for their ultimate budget. Basketball is not the biggest sport outside of the USA or Canada or any of these places. You know, you're competing with other things, soccer, even handball. So, you know, you'll definitely see a dip in what teams are able to offer. Okay, but now again, we talked about there's one thing happening, then there's that opposite effect. Okay, so maybe you're a player that is, you know, from maybe a lower level, have a few gaps, and need a really good experience. And this is maybe a way you can get that experience because, you know, you might have a veteran player who will not return to a team for lower amount of money. Okay, so maybe that's your opportunity to move into a higher league by accepting lower money. And then hopefully when things, you know, resurface, you go back to normal, you prove yourself, you can work your way up. Okay, so that right now is the current state of what we're in. Those are the big toss-ups, the big questions, and I will, you know, try to present more information as it comes. Okay, stay patient because right now a lot of teams are holding back because they don't know what their budget's going to be. They don't know what the rules are going to look like. Some teams are still signing, but be cautious. Okay, be very cautious. If you're from a small school and they're offering you a big contract, and I'm not saying millions, okay? This is not the NBA. If they're offering you, you know, $3,000, you played at a Division III school, it's probably going to be a scam. All right? So stay vigilant to that stuff, okay? If it's too good to be true, it probably is. All right? Look up and see, are these people actually affiliated with the team? Are these real agents? Okay, is this the real coach, the real team managers? All right? A lot of people pose and fake. I've seen crazy stuff. People buying plane tickets for people, then refunding it, just, you know, scamming. If they're asking you for money at this point, right now during this, first of all, you know, it's a tough time. We've got to be saving our money, being smart and wise with that. I would say don't do it. Unless it's somebody reputable, you're paying for, you know, consulting, you're actually paying for maybe the exposure for an event, to have your information up somewhere, and you have seen other testimonials and they are a reputable person, okay, then great, you know. I offer some of the same services myself, but, you know, be astute, okay? Be astute and be wise and be vigilant to all that stuff, okay? With that said, I wish you guys the best and take care. And please, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe because I got much more, you know, content like this coming out, explaining a lot of stuff about overseas. If you're looking to try to get your way into an overseas team, you know, I've got other videos on my channel that, you know, describe that in more detail, okay, with many more coming out. Okay, my next video is going to be my top 10 ways to get overseas, and that is for anybody from any level, but especially for guys with gaps in their resume, especially for guys from small school like myself. I came from a Division III school, okay, and I was able to navigate and work my way into the professional scene overseas, and it's not easy, okay? And I want you guys to avoid the mistakes and the pitfalls that I made and learn from my experiences. So please subscribe and stay tuned to all that, and follow me on social media at CPB Network for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Take care.